Are live. Welcome back to the EU Wayback machine because I want to make my title complicated and make it free of copyright and to piss off Brennan, who hates the fact that I do this every single time. Anyway, episode 31, which is Deadly Reunion and Traitor's Gambit for today. So we don't have the actual comic to blip through today, unfortunately, but I got some images, starting with we got this one. Okay.
I think that's number 7 of classic Star Wars.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, sorry. We got this, and then we got this one. These are two that we're looking through.
So we can't see what you're looking at.
You can't see it?
No. It's only showing the folder.
That's unfortunate. All right. Well, anyway,
you just have to select the folder.
Hang on.
All right.
If you, Alex, if you stop, yeah, I can just.
Okay. Anyway, so we have 2 stories from the newspaper strips from the LA Times. Scott, do you have dates on these by any chance?
Yes, I do. So Deadly Reunion, the publication date, it's LA Times comic, of course. So it started in November of 1981 and went all the way through January of 1982. And then Traitor's Gambit, which is subsequent to that, started in January 1982, goes to March 7th, 1982. And this is written by Archie Goodwin and drawn by Al Williamson for both of them.
Very nice.
So we're making good progress in this podcast. We're all the way to 1982. We're going back to the Marvel Comics.
We'll be talking Return of the Jedi a little bit.
That's right.
It'll be good.
We're going back to the Marvel Comics after this episode. The Crisis on Cloud City, I think, is next, where we get to see Lando, which I'm very excited about. But these are 2 short comics, so these pick up right after the Serpent Masters, and we have Tanith Shire going back with Luke. They have a little shuttle that they escaped the Serpent Master planet in, and it doesn't have the ability to reach the Rebel fleet. And the droids are working on the ship. They're trying to get it to give out more power, basically, for the hyperdrive. And they communicate with the Rebel fleet, which sends Han and Chewie and the Falcon to basically meet up with them on Cabal, because Leia's on a mission. Good, we got the cover there. Leia's on a mission on Cabal, and there's going to be a pending Imperial attack, and they escape. So Tanith Shire actually exits the scene, like she's been a continuing character in some of these comic, I don't know what you'd call them, stories, issues. At least there are issues with the Dark Horse reprints. But she leaves because this ship that she lands in, when the Imperials attack, she doesn't want to lose the ship to the Imperials. So she has to go back to her people because that ship is apparently the only one they have, and she doesn't want to lose it. So they say their goodbyes, and she kisses Luke goodbye. I believe Leia sees it, and there's a whole scene where Leia's kind of jealous of Luke, which is kind of a twist on what we normally see on some of the comics. So
hello.
We get to see some TIE bombers. I really like the artwork here. And when the Imperials attack, they attack Cabal, which is a neutral system, and we have an Imperial commander who looks awful like Captain Piet, even though I'm not sure it could be Captain Piet. He says the rebel activity, since the rebel uprising, neutrality is an act of insolence, a punishable act. And they're basically taking it out on the entire planet, sending TIE bombers, and causing a whole lot of damage.
According to the Wook, that is Piet.
Oh, it is Piet. Wow. Because I thought his station is on the Executor, which, as we know from previous comics in this series, is being constructed. So I guess he hasn't transferred yet. I don't know. A lot of the characters, especially the aliens in some of these, look very similar. So we have the Score alien with like the Yoda ears, and then we have the frog character. Score has like a sidekick called Gribbet, And we
Yes.
see those two alien species appear, I think, in both of these issues. One is like they're running away from like the Imperial attack, the TIE bombers. I don't think they're meant to be the same characters, but they're at least the same species. And I was like, does LA Times have the permission to draw any other aliens besides these two people? Because you can kind of see it on the cover there, that little frog thing. So this is actually, I think this is the cover of Traitor's Gambit, not Deadly Reunion.
I like that shirt, Alex.
Luigi shirt.
What is that? Oh, Luigi, yes.
I like.
I had to get some water.
Fair enough. I think so. To kind of go off the aliens thing, I feel like that's kind of the case across the board in this period. Is there's just not a lot of like alien representation of like real species. It's like new ones that we kind of maybe could be ones that we know, but probably not. Like the Marvel comics, they never have like Rhodians or whatever. They never have like, Ithorians, stuff like that.
There isn't really a lot of, well, that's less the case now. Now that we've got not Al Williamson. Who am I thinking of?
Archie Goodwin.
No, the artist who we've had for the last however many issues.
In what? In Marvel Comics?
Yeah.
Tom Palmer's been the inker. Walt Simonson.
Yes, thank you. Damn it! Why could I not remember Walt Simonson?
That's all right.
But yeah, there's one of the big shifts that's happened with him taking over as the main artist is I think there's been much more consistency in the alien designs as opposed to, ones that we see maybe once and there's just sort of an in the moment idea that we see for one issue and then never again, or ones that don't have names, like like the orange lady we see at one point,
the possible Tamaranian.
Yes.
Yeah, I think now that Star Wars is becoming more important, there's more of a desire to have things look right. But until very recently, it's been like, make it look like a space thing. Who cares if it feels authentic to Star Wars? It don't matter.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I think they get the ships and the weapons. Like we see the DL-44 blaster. Leia, it's not Han's blaster, but like Leia has the same model, and it's drawn with a lot of detail, very intricately. The TIE bombers are drawn real well here. I think the Falcon has made a lot of improvement from some of the earlier comics we covered. Faces, I mean, the expressions are not always the greatest, but I feel like you can at least tell what they're drawing here, even if some of the aliens are repetitive.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah,
I've said before, I really like Al Williamson. I think my favorite thing about his artwork is his ability to convey body language. It feels very. Yeah, this is how a person would look when they're saying this or doing this. It's
big moves.
Yes.
In terms of storytelling.
Exactly.
From not doing that at all. Just as an aside here on this cover, I feel like this is a real Star Wars outfit she's in. Like maybe more of like a slave Leia outfit, like a exploitative outfit, but that's I could see you just tell me George wouldn't take a look at that and go, oh yeah, I gotta put that in the movie. Like that's guaranteed.
George definitely would.
Her outfit, I feel, is like the basis of Ahsoka Tano's outfit in the Clone Wars. Like that's where
except that she's a grown woman and not a prepubescent child.
She is.
I think that's the difference.
Well, this is Commander Fire, So she's a former smuggler. She's on the Aquarius planet. She's actually in the second cover, the second comic we're covering today. Yeah.
She born.
Traitor's Gambit. So they have like this secret outpost underwater. It sort of rises. There's like this landing platform that rises out of the ocean.
It's like
And yeah, we'll cover that like later in the second comic. But when they meet Commander Fire, Leia mentions like you're not dressed because she's supposed to be a member of the Rebel Alliance. Commander Fire is, and she's like not dressed in the standard uniform, and like Leia mentions like it looks.
Well, she doesn't make a thing of it, but
uniform.
She doesn't make a thing of it, but she says to Han, well, she was perfectly professional when we met on Cabal, and then they arrive and she goes, "Oh, you're dressed differently than you were."
Yeah, she was trying to seduce Han, probably. Phil. She's got to pull up her pants. I don't think that outfit's very appropriate.
Those are not pants. That's not what pants are. she just nailed it.
Not really pants. They're like
she's got like the
exaggerated leggings.
She's got the legs.
Yeah, I mean it looks a little different within the drawing of the comic than it does on the cover here, but she wears like this like early 2000s low rise jeans a little bit, but they're a little bit too low in the back. I don't know. She's
Die Ghostfish. This is in
classic Star Wars.
If you mean the trades, this is in Classic Star Wars Volume 2, or if you have the Epic collections, it's in
it's also
the newspaper strips Volume 2.
Yes.
Or the omnibus coming very soon.
Yeah. Yes, or if you have the unlikely event that you have the IDW collections, then it's in.
Scott has there. Yeah, there you go.
This is in Volume 2, both of them.
It's in Volume 2, almost across the board. So
yes. So after the Imperial attack on Cabal, they get out in the Falcon, right? And they go through this, and it's very indicative, the fact that this is a newspaper comic strip, that they go from like this scene to the next scene to the next scene. So all the scenes are like slightly a little bit different. They all present an obstacle and like a resolution, and it just diverts away from this traditional template of what you would expect from a Star Wars comic, like a 6-issue miniseries that, is probably more common today. But they go through this a very similar scene to the asteroid field, but there's Imperial bombers and TIE bombers, and they sort of like sneak in the middle of it so that they avoid radar detection. And it's almost exactly the same as the scene in The Empire Strikes Back, where like Han attaches the Falcon to the back of the Star Destroyer so they can't see it. But then there's this communication channel. They hear laughing on the comm channel, and it's from a rebel communication, and it's this graveyard of lost ships. And there's this Imperial scientist. He's suffering from a deadly illness, the result of like one of his experiments gone bad. It's Dr. Arakkus, Arakkus, and there's like these devices. Arrakis, I don't know how you pronounce it, but there's these explosives like embedded within the graveyard of lost ships, and it's spiraling to like a neutron star, like similar to a black hole. And since he has this deadly disease that's going to kill him anyway, he just lured the rebels to this trap. And he's like, you're going to die slowly. You'll be trapped in the graveyard of lost ships forever. And this story, like when they get to this point in the comic strips, it's very similar to Volume 2 of the Brian Wood series. So you have an Imperial scientist that Leia meets that is like from the old Republic, I guess, but Leia finds out he worked on the Death Star, like with Tarkin and all that. And he tries to lead them into a trap similar to this. And it's almost like, did Brian Wood steal this idea from LA Times? I think so. I think the stories are like super similar.
That's like Brian Wood's whole shtick is just meshing what came before and trying to put it into something new. So
Yeah. I mean, it's slightly different characters, but it's almost verbatim the same concept.
So the original story, I like the creepiness of it. You know, the laughter they hear through the comm. That's not what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And the situation of being stuck in the gravitational pull of this neutron star, and you're getting slowly pulled to your death, and there's no way out, and it's not immediate, but it is, as they, well, it seems at the time at least, unavoidable.
Mm-hmm. It's
And
very convoluted. The plot where he has like, oh, I'm just going to leave you here. It has a gravitational hold. You can't escape in the Falcon. And by the way, I have these bombs planted everywhere. And I have this suit where you can't kill me because it'll like explode. Like Han can't even pull out his blaster and shoot the guy, which is kind of like they're stuck. And they're basically just sitting there talking to him.
yeah, it's okay. I'm dying. I'm going to take as many people with me as I can, and I'm going to do so in a way that makes them feel the same sort of dread that I'm experiencing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
but it's
also,
very convoluted.
but also
at
it's
the same time.
it's a very insane imperial scientist plan.
They do a lot of this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And
From someone with too much time on his hands, ironically.
You can very much tell. I don't know if Dark Horse changed the paneling to where it flows a little bit better, but if you're reading this in the IDW collection, this whole exchange between the mad imperial scientist and Luke, and it's basically Luke and Han that confront him, and they do the spacewalk, and you can tell like where the daily issue started and where the daily issue ended, because it's like a whole bunch of mini serialized stories, right, put together. And it doesn't flow very well, like overall. If you were to read this from start to finish, I don't think it's very interesting. It's just like, oh, there's this problem, they have to resolve it. There's this problem, they have to resolve it. Oh, there's bombs embedded in this guy's suit. What are we going to do? Oh, maybe we can use the bombs to escape. And that's eventually how they get out of there. They explode the bombs, and the guy basically commits suicide. And the force of the bomb, the negative explosion, the force going the other way is what gets them out of the gravitational pull of the star.
He has the floating ball things, right? Al,
Mm-hmm.
did those remind you of Mr. Terrific?
A little bit. I could see the comparison.
They call them negatron charges.
That's one letter off from being something cool. Boys, what do we think of this here story?
I give it a thumbs down.
Yeah. I was not crazy about it on my first read. This, my second read, I'm gonna be honest. In one, out the other. That's not how you read, but that's how it went.
Yeah, this is very much telling that it's a newspaper strip, like a daily issue, start to finish, day 1, day 2, day 3.
Die Ghostfish. That is interesting.
That would be a fun retcon.
Yeah, that would make sense.
This is one of the real big downsides to the EU not continuing, is there's so many great retcons that people have come up with since it ended. That would be like S tier. But you can't do it.
Yeah. So the guy that Leia meets, the Imperial scientist, there's so many Imperial scientists that appear in the EU, but this guy is Tag Rogarin. Rogaren. And I guess he's Alderanian, but there's pictures of him. He's got like a Death Star medal and a picture of him and Tarkin there. It's probably not showing up very well on camera, but very similar story. Like, I feel like this had to have been copied, and I'll lower my rating just for that, actually.
That it was the basis for
Starwood.
For Starwood.
Starwood, which I don't know if it's
Wood
actually
Star.
EU or not.
But yeah, it was perfectly. I don't think it was horrible. Just going whatever.
As an aside, Alex, when we get to it, are we covering Starwood in 20 years?
I think we have to.
Probably.
You would,
and we all on a downer.
Oh, we are ending on a fucking downer.
The rise and fall.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I give it a thumbs down. Scott, you give it a thumbs down. Alex,
mid,
Alex.
like a 4.
Mid.
I don't really do
Right.
good ratings, but it's okay. Like, it's not. There's nothing egregiously horrible about it. I'm just not gonna remember it. And again, as Kreia says in KOTOR 2, apathy is death. I'd rather be super negative toward it than just nothing. Just what I feel. So
I'd rather have an opinion than have nothing, which is honestly what I have. How about you, Robert? Up, down, middle. That's the system.
I didn't dislike it. I don't have all that much to say about it, but that's partly because I read it a while ago. Might have been last month.
I will say, yeah. It's been a while. So it had been a while since I read it as well, and then the other day I did a quick reread. That was like a couple days ago. I think that was Thursday. I can remember things much more vividly from, say, even Rebellion, like the where the one clone trooper who is with the rebels inexplicably, even though he should be like 1,000 years old because growth,
that.
whatever. Like, he turns into the what's it called, the Rak Ghoul. I remember that scene more than literally anything in this comic. The
clone, yes,
yeah, and Vector.
What his name is. But yeah.
Two more things I'll say about this before we move on to the next one. One is, like, I feel like this didn't even further the story. This just padded however many newspaper comics that they needed to fill before they went on to the next issue. That this was definitely, it didn't further the story at all, really, other than Tanith Shire leaving. I feel like that was the only significant part.
But is Tanith Shire like a vital character to the Star Wars universe, or is this just like, oh, this character who's already kind of on her way out is fun?
No, but I think she was in the previous two, right? She was in the one with the Executor, and then she was in the Serpent Master. So that needed a resolution. So for that reason, I guess it's important. But that's about the only focal point about this comic. The other thing is Cabal. We're also covering the 1977 Marvel comics, and those were not in the canon, the like early EU Bantam canon, but this was, because Cabal is mentioned in a couple different stories, in some video games too. It's also in Star Wars Rebellion, the video game.
That's really cool.
And I think it's mentioned in the Corellian trilogy. It's also in like later EU, but from the early Bantam EU, it's part of that. So they considered this part of that canon, which is interesting. Probably because Dark Horse reprinted it.
Probably. When would that have been?
If Star Wars went through with Marvel, like the Marvel era, they probably would have been like, well, that counts too. But
right. But I think we can move on to the next one, Traitor's Gambit.
Miss No Pants.
Yeah. So they're fleeing the Starship Graveyard. So this picks up right after the previous comic, Deadly Reunion, and Yavin 4 is under attack. And because the droids are carrying the information on the Executor, like the plans that Luke stole way back when in Darth Vader Strikes, or whenever that was, they don't want to help the rebels on Yavin, but because they feel like the information will just get caught by the Imperials attacking the planet. So it's like TIE fighters, like doing strafing runs on the jungle and the temple there. So they decide to go to Aquarius, which is the water planet, like we mentioned earlier. And Tanith Shire is one of Leia's rebel contacts there, and they feel like they can provide some help with the attack on Yavin to sort of fend off the Imperials there. And Han is very suspicious of the whole idea. It's actually mentioned that Fire was actually the part of her group stole Han's spice when he was running it for Jabba. So I don't know if at this point they think like Han only smuggled spice once, but it strongly suggests that Commander Fire is actually responsible for Jabba's debt, Han's debt to Jabba. So I found that quite interesting as well. Like it's all her fault in the end.
Okay, good one. Die Ghostfish. Okay, hold on. Let me get the other. Let me get the second cover on the screen.
I think the second cover is cooler, mostly because it has a big octopus.
Oh yes, there's a second in command that's called Kraken, and then there's this demon squid that is very similar to the scene in episode 1. So they have these little submarine craft, kind of like the bongo or whatever they call it in episode 1, where they get
Unubonto. Yeah, I think you're right, bongo.
Yeah. So they kind of go underwater, and it's supposed to be for fun. So Commander Fire is trying to lighten the mood and say, hey guys, like, let's just go on a hunting trip. And she actually planned one of the submarines to fail and actually save Luke, the one that Luke's riding in, to sort of support the fact that like she's on the rebel side. Like Han's really suspicious of her, and she wants to stop that. And actually, Commander Fire is loyal to the rebellion. It's her second in command that turns out to be a problem. He's named Kraken, and he's a similar species to Score. He has those big ears. He's the same type of alien. In fact, when I initially read this, I thought it was Score, but it's not. So,
Alex, could you? I've got the image in the. If you could put it on the screen.
If you can, not the comments. But they go on this hunting trip.
There we go.
And
thank you.
There we go. So Luke's speeder, his little submarine, hovercraft, whatever, actually he's unconscious because Kraken just stunned him, put him in the submarine, and sent it on autopilot straight into this squid. And the squid attacks him, destroys his craft, and he's like, I guess he ejects, and Han goes out to save him. Like they swim in the ocean, like Han saves him, brings him to the surface, and there's a whole intense battle between the submarines and the squid. They eventually get away, and then while they're on this mission back at the landing platform, back at the base, the droids are taking an oil bath, and a Kraken, who just stunned Luke, he's actually not in the submarine at all. He goes to the droids, takes out the information, like shuts them down. But Leia sees this, and Leia comes in with a blaster and saves the day. So he's about to get away with the droids, the secret information about the Super Star Destroyer that Luke brought back from Vader Strikes, and Leia is able to retrieve it, and that's basically the end. But I feel like a lot more happens in this. Like we got to get a couple more new characters. We get a new planet, this Aquarius planet, which I think appears in the episode 1 pod racer game, if I'm not mistaken.
So this is Aquarius. The one in episode 1 Racer is Aquilaris.
Oh, very similar.
So very similar.
Then in the script for New Hope, isn't there a mention of a planet Aquilae?
Yes.
Hmm.
That's
a very similarly named planet.
The line that Mark Hamill famously begged George Lucas to remove.
Which luckily he did.
So, yeah, the other thing that this planet reminds me of is the level Aquaria Towers from Spyro 2.
I will say, to Scott's point, I have the Wikipedia articles up just to try to get images and things of that nature. The synopsis for Deadly Reunion is a little over like a hefty paragraph. The plot summary for Traitor's Gambit is almost a page. So it's
part of that is just user. I mean, they like the story a little bit more. You'll see, I think in Deadly Reunion, it's missing the front part about Tanith Shire leaving. I think it just misses that whole part. But yeah.
Still, there's some stuff going on here.
Yes. So Silverfire's plan of, okay, Han and Luke don't trust me. I'm going to prove that I can be trusted. How am I going to do that? By putting them in danger in a situation where I can then save their life.
That seems
brilliant.
Manipulative.
Yeah, and it goes even worse. They ended up having to save Luke, but not for the reasons that she sort of planned out. It was her second in command that really made it a dangerous situation.
Also, I'm going to invite them on a hunt. The classic medieval method of, oh, you want someone dead? Why don't you come with me for a hunt? I'm sure nothing bad's going to happen.
I felt a little bit sorry for the squid at the end of the day, because they have these lasers on the bongos, and they shoot the squid. They destroy its brain sac or whatever, and the thing just sinks to the bottom of the ocean. I was like, man, that's a little bit sad.
Yeah, that's a little bit gross. Yeah, I mean, your name is also Kraken. She's got a friend named Kraken. I
feel like the monster should have been named Kraken. Maybe the guy should have been named Demon Squid. I don't know. And then the guard that's in the base, he's the same species, like I said, as Gribbet. So you have Score and Gribbet, but they're playing different roles. It's the same aliens. I kept having deja vu, thinking I've seen this before, but it's the same species in different situations, different characters of the same species.
Yeah, I think my favorite character in this whole story is the squid. R.I.P.
Yes.
Also, Marcel, good to see you. I fucked that up.
Good to see you too, Marcel.
I do like the, okay, there's this ex-pirate. Han knows her and doesn't trust her. They keeps going, nah, it's fine. She's perfectly okay. And Han's going, okay, I'm going to prove that she's not trustworthy. And turns out Leia's absolutely right. And this whole time she's been watching the guy who actually turns out to be the traitor, who is, the second in command.
Yeah, it's mentioned that Leia has this under control. So the data plaques, they call them data plaques, not data cards or anything.
I love the 70s era of Star Wars technology, when they've got the Death Star data tapes.
Yeah.
Right. That R2's carrying. So this is the schematics, I guess, of the Superstar Destroyer. And Leia's like, oh, I converted it to a bomb. That way, if the traitor gets away with it, I'll just detonate it. That way he just dies. So she had this under control the whole time. Meanwhile, Han has to tackle the guy. He's like, I would have just shot you with my blaster, but that would have damaged the data card, or eventually it does fall into the ocean and it explodes. And Leia's like, oh, by the way, I turned it into a bomb. So it's like, what is going on here? There's a twist on top of a twist. But I really got a kick out of the fact that when they first got here, it mentions Han's smuggling mission, because it strongly suggests Han only smuggled spice once, and that's why he's in debt to Jabba. And Han says, oh, it was Silver Fire's group that got me caught. So I'd love to know the backstory of that, but I feel like that story's been told in so many different things. I don't know if that's a contradiction or not.
Aren't there those Han Solo, like, were they YA novels? I don't know what they are. The adventures, Han Solo adventures. They go over.
Yeah, the yellow and blue books. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I think this has been covered, and I think it has been contradicted. So
I'd need somebody to put out the diagram. Some of these events you need like a flow chart, like the bounty hunter on Ord Mantell. You're like, well, this, and this, these all count. This is actually the same thing as this.
You need one of those to figure out Operation Skyhook.
Ugh.
damn.
Yeah.
It's such a mess. I love it.
Anything else of note? Do I have anything?
I like the Kraken as well.
I like the Kraken. I think it's sick. I think it's
No,
awesome.
it's the demon fish. Kraken is the traitor.
Of
Unless
course.
you mean the generic Kraken.
the
Yeah, it's
generic
good.
Dandana for the monster
Mm.
here.
No, sorry, that's
This is what it
Phantom
should be called. Jan Dandana appearance.
That's true. Didn't show up too many times. Real question: this octopus thing, or the thing from episode 1 that eats the boat?
Gooba
that-
fish?
Yes. Who
Big
wins?
Gooba fish.
Who
Well-
has bets?
I mean, I like the demon squid more.
Yeah.
So I'd
But
be,
it's
I'd be
Who's gonna
pulling
win
for
the
him.
fight?
I would put a small bet on it just because I like it so much.
I would agree, but it is significantly smaller. I feel like
But it's got the multiple arms, so maybe it can
it does,
count
and
down.
squids and octopi are like some of the most intelligent creatures around. At least octopi are. I don't know about squids actually.
So maybe
That's neat.
it's got a
That's-
chance.
But yeah, what do we think here, gents?
Better, but I'm not sure it's good.
Yeah, that's kind of. I think that this was a step up, but not. It was a little step, a little tiny step.
It's
Sure,
fine.
was
It's fine.
Jeremy Johns, a YouTuber, says he's like, I won't remember T minus. Yep, already forgot. It's kind of like that.
Carbonite Wardroid. Carbonite
Al
Wardroid
Williams.
says, "Are you on DeviantArt?" No, but I have a feeling that Silver Fire might be. Just by the way she's dressed, I don't know.
She's
I'm
not.
sure
She's
there's-
not wearing a lot of pants.
Stuff with her.
Big
Al
fan
Williamson's-
of George Lucas, or George Lucas, big fan, I should say.
Go,
Al
yeah, go
Williamson's
to
art is always nice to look at.
and see what
I will say
pictures
that.
are on his walls.
Yeah. Well, I think the best news about this issue is that we are firmly in 1982. We're in like March of 1982, and that's great.
Yes.
We are so close to at least post Return of the Jedi. And by so close, I mean like a year and a half out. But that's much closer than we were
Better than nothing.
not too long ago.
I'm looking forward to Lando. And
I'm also
next
looking forward to
couple-
Land. I'm looking forward
My heart-
to not these. Just
Yeah.
anything that's not this.
There's still quite a few
Are you
more to
ready?
go.
Yeah, I know.
What? That's not
And then we have
Um,
some of the Devil Worlds comics, I believe. We covered
true.
one or
This
two
is
of them,
the
but I
other
think we
one.
have some more.
I should.
We got the one with the guy that tries to make people kill themselves,
Oh,
be guilty of all the stuff they've done, and Vader's like, well, the original idea is just like, oh, I'm so evil, I feel no remorse. And then if you take in the prequels, it's like, I'm already so sad. There's nothing you could say to me that I haven't heard, that I told myself.
I thought I remember the Emperor being in it too.
You want to be careful about saying that on YouTube, Alex.
Chess, cosmic chess, and then
Yes,
Vader like disintegrating this thing.
I think that was my favorite of the Devil Worlds when I read it the first time, just because it's kind of cool. I have those. I now own those issues. I bought them at a convention last year, so I'll have to break it out. The Devil Worlds. But how about you, Alex? What do you think here? What do you got?
It's fine. It was more fun than the last one. But I don't have anything super analytical to say in regards to it. So pretty meh.
Robert? Mr. Robert?
I think, if anything, I have less to say about this one than the previous one.
That's fair. A little bit of an uneventful one, folks. But
actually, one thing that does come to mind, Silverfire has these little guys, these little creatures. Do you know what I'm talking about?
They're like frogs, but they're a different type of frog than the one that
Goonaroomp. Nope, that's a what we got it. Where's it? What else we got here? A Rybit.
I don't know. There's like one of the guards when Leia confronts Kraken. I think he kind of looks like a Mon Calamari, but they go back to the base and they find out Kraken's the traitor, and there's this guy slumped over the control panel. It's like this poor guy. I guess he got shot or whatever. I try to put it on screen. It's probably gonna be too small. I don't know if you can see it. It's on the end panel there where he's kind of slumped over.
Yeah. I think the Wook designates that as a Rybit.
Like Morith Duel.
From the
that's
Jedi trilogy.
Yeah, that's definitely a retcon, but
big time.
I felt sorry for that guy. I felt sorry for that guy and the squid.
That's fair. They were just kind of minding their own business.
Yeah, he's just like doing his job, sitting at the control panel, and there's this like traitor in their midst, shoots him. Probably didn't even know he got shot. Probably just came up behind him. Poor guy.
It's rough. It's rough.
We're scraping the bottom of the barrel, folks, for some of these comics. I gotta say, but we're trying to make them interesting.
It's not even that it's like terrible. It's just that there's just not a lot going on. Just kind of another adventure. There's only so many of these that you can do in a row and have something to say.
I gotta get going. So
fair enough.
Overall, these comics, meh. We're gonna get to better ones, but yeah,
they're all
next
right.
time.
They're not
more
bad
exciting
or anything. They're just
they're there.
We got some Sherbri coming up with Crisis on Cloud City. Get to see Lobot. Get to see Ugnaughts.
Lobot will also be awesome.
Ugnaughts with Irish accents, I think.
Those are gonna be fun. Those are gonna be fun to talk about. And I think we're aiming for 2 weeks or week after next, I think, right?
Yes, week after next.
I believe so.
Probably on a Thursday, but we'll let you guys know. We'll put it up as a upcoming live stream on Alex's channel, so stay tuned for that.
I will say this. We are sandwiched between two really good artists. We've got Al Williamson and we've got Walt Simonson. So
yep.
Yes, I always prefer the art in these to Marvel, personally. But I just think they look more like what they should look like. Supposed to, I mean, Marvel eventually gets it fine, but for a long time they just look wrong to me. So, anyway, yes. Till next time, guys. The other competitor, live long and prosper. Star Trek. All right. Bye bye.